1-2, forward 1-2, and then 2-1. Those three lead into a full combo if you have at least one bar. That full combo, regardless of which one you started off with, is going to be like. But that works off of the snap as well, which is what I was doing earlier, is it leads immediately into you getting your clocks back, and it's very scary to deal with, and you kind of want to keep that infinite loop going the whole time. This this is entirely reliant on you being able to adapt and read your opponent. You really need to be able to do that with Geras. He is a very defensive character, and you need to have a good idea of frame of data. So if you don't, I'd really advise you go find some videos that explain frame data in a more in-depth detail. But basically, the best and shortest way to explain it is if you're negative on something and a person does a positive attack, subtract your negative from their positive, and that's how many frames it's going to take. So if you're -7 on something and they have an 8-frame startup move, it is going to only be 1 frame because you were -7. You're subtracting that from the 8, it's 1 frame. They're going to beat out whatever you do. You cannot backstep. So, forward 1, forward 1, 2, conditioning moves. Now, what can we do after we've conditioned them to stop blocking? Well, that's where this comes in. Boom. That leads you into building up your clocks. And from here, you're able to do the combo I was showing earlier. Let's see. Some other things that are good to know. I haven't seen anyone do this. This is very good tech to know because it resets and it can lead you into what is essentially a 60% combo. When you go into this, finish it in the air. What I mean is do this. That's 22%. And the cool thing about this is with Kung Lao, if you hold R1 while you're falling, right when you hit the ground, it bounces the enemy and they have to restand immediately. This gives you the opportunity to do down 2 into whatever you want. Your jab is 7 frames. It is now going to be, because you're +9 if they block the down 2. So it's going to be very plus for you, and you're most likely going to land it, especially if they try and push buttons. They're going to get hit. I rarely ever see anyone using his armor move, which they don't even know it has armor. And I rarely ever see anyone use it to get out of like a bad spot. And I rarely ever see anyone use it to initiate pressure like this. It's very hard to react to. If you block it, good for you. You're not going to uppercut it. You're going to have to block it. You don't have enough time to uppercut it. There's only a few moves that like let that happen. So that's a good one to keep in mind because it can lead to a higher damage setup than you would have been able to do before. So another thing is being able to read when opponents are going to try and zone you. So for Scorpion, it's going to be pretty hard to do, but watch the character. If he's going to teleport, you just need to watch him, okay? His Hellfire, it's a little slow. You should be able to react to that. It's going to be difficult because when Scorpion has to get out of range, as soon as you land, he's going to try doing this. It's pretty quick, but just watch him. There's a little bit of input stutter. Right when they're doing that move, watch their hands. Okay. Wait for it. You just gotta watch them. You can also duck this. Watch their hands. This is how you duck a lot of things. You just watch what they're doing, and you should be able to read the opponent. It's difficult. Oops, dropped my controller. But once you get used to it, this makes people scared of using projectiles against Geras, especially when you have the clocks built. If you don't have the clocks built, they're gonna try zoning you out because you have nothing to deal with them at a distance. As I was showing you earlier, and I'm showing you again, Kung Lao is goated, bro. He literally makes Geras a better character just by himself. So how the armor works, it's right at the pickup. Also with Scorpion and any grab move, if you can react to it, which I've done a lot now, and I've had people report me, is you can call out Kung Lao and stop the animation. So this works on any grab. Any grab. Rather than trying to deal with their bullshit, which is the 50-50 of the back or forward grab, hold down R1. The next thing would be his clone. I'm not very good with it. So the best way to go about his clone is going to be forcing your clone to do forward 4 or 2-1. You're doing the opposite of whatever the clone is doing. So if they're doing forward 4, you're doing 2-1. It's that easy. So I'll go ahead and show you. Yeah, something like that. Pretty easy. Not that hard. That's kind of all I have. Remember, do this. It's very good. Barely anyone uses it, but it's 22% for free. And then you're forcing a person to react to your down 1, or your down 2, my bad. And you can do either a grab, because you're plus, so they have 1 frame to react to it. Or you can do a 1-2, 2-1, forward, 1-2. Forward 1 is 11 frames, but because you're 9 frame positive, it is going to be 2 frame activation, meaning it'll beat out most people's jabs. Keep that in mind. Punish people for not blocking. Don't punish yourself for following through with a combo that they're already blocking. Time your inputs. Watch what they're doing. Condition them and learn. That's really all I have. You guys got this. Geras is getting a buff soon. Enjoy.